I believe I am live, and I'm going to say first off that if this video isn't clear, then hopefully the next one that I will create will be clear and you'll be able to see it. For now, I want each of you to pay close attention to what you hear. I want you to listen very carefully. I'm going to tell you about a story. In this story, I'm going to give you perhaps 5 vocabulary words that I want you to determine if your listening skills are intact, how well you understand the story. Somewhere on this page, I do have the text that I'm going to read for you, and if you can find the text, then that will be fantastic. If not, just listen to the story, because at this very moment, I don't know where the text is. My name is Dr. Priscilla, and this is our Facebook group. This is a community where you can come, join, learn, and participate if you want to improve your English fluency, whether it's listening, speaking, and interacting. While this is a good Facebook group, this group is not for everyone. But for those of you who will listen to this, consider this a podcast, and hopefully just by listening, you will learn a little more than you did before you joined the group. So if you have not subscribed to this Facebook group, I'd like to invite you to do so. And I have a membership campaign that is going on now. If you'd like to join that as well, please click on the appropriate links, and I'll tell you where those links will be somewhere in the Facebook group. The vocabulary words that I want you to focus on are stubborn, embarrassment or embarrassed, intently, apologized, and humiliated. Those are the 5 words that I want you to pay close attention to in today's story. Now I'm going to read the story, and the title of the story is The Tale of Henry Hardhead. The Tale of Henry Hardhead. If I did not say, my name is Dr. Priscilla. Here is our story for today. Once upon a time, in the quaint village of Misty Glen, there lived a young boy named Henry. Henry was known far and wide for his hard head, not just in the literal sense, but also because he was stubborn and always pretended to know more than he actually did. Henry's father, Mr. Miller, was the village blacksmith, a man of great wisdom and experience. One sunny morning, Mr. Miller was repairing the mayor's carriage when Henry strutted into the smithy, boasting about how he knew everything there was to know about blacksmithing. "Father, you should let me handle that," Henry declared confidently. Mr. Miller smiled, wiping the sweat from his brow. "All right, Henry, show me how it's done." Henry grabbed the tools and started working on the carriage wheel. He hammered and twisted, but it was clear to everyone watching that he didn't know what he was doing. The wheel became more and more misshapen until it finally broke apart. The mayor, who had been watching quietly, frowned. "Henry, it's important to admit when you need help. There's no shame in not knowing everything." Henry's cheeks turned red, and they burned with embarrassment. but his hard head wouldn't let him back down. "I knew that wheel was weak. I was just testing it," he lied. Mr. Miller gently placed a hand on Henry's shoulder. "Son, having a hard head isn't the same as having a wise head. Stubbornness and pretending to know everything will only lead to more mistakes. True strength comes from knowing when to ask for help and being willing to learn." Henry huffed and stormed off, feeling humiliated. Over the next few days, he avoided the smithy and his father's gentle advice. But everywhere he went, he heard whispers about his mistake with the wheel. Even the village children teased him, calling him Henry Hardhead. One day, as Henry wandered by the river, he saw old Mrs. Finch struggling to catch a heavy basket of laundry. Actually, she was trying to carry a heavy basket of laundry. Without thinking, he rushed to help her. As they walked together, Mrs. Finch told him stories about her youth, and Henry listened. He listened intently, learning about the village's history and her many adventures. "Thank you, Henry," Mrs. Finch said warmly. "You're a good boy. Remember, even the wisest person started out knowing nothing. It's our willingness to learn and grow that makes us truly wise." Henry's hard head softened a bit that day. He realized that pretending to know everything only kept him from truly learning. He returned to the smithy and apologized to his father. Mr. Miller welcomed him back with open arms, and together they worked on the mayor's new wheel. Over time, Henry became a skilled blacksmith, not because he pretended to know everything, but because he was willing to learn from his mistakes and listen to those who knew more than he. So now you may be asking yourself, what is the moral of this story? For me, the moral of the story is true wisdom comes from admitting what you don't know and being open to learning from your mistakes or learning from others. The 5 vocabulary words are stubborn. Stubborn means having or showing dogged determination about doing something or accomplishing something. Embarrassment. It is a feeling of self-consciousness, shame, or awkwardness. Intently, with earnest and eager attention. And apologize. Express regret for something that you have done, and most likely you did it incorrectly. And the last one is humiliated. It's to make feel ashamed or foolish by injuring your dignity and self-respect. Now here are a few true, false questions. I want you to listen to the question and post the answer. You will not see the story. I will read the questions only once. This is to test your listening. The questions are true or false. Henry was known in the village for his wisdom and expertise. Write T for true, F for false. Number two. Henry successfully fixed the mayor's carriage wheel on his first try. T for true, F for false. Number 3, the villagers called Henry Hardhead because he was known for his stubbornness. Number 4, Henry learned the importance of asking for help from Mrs. Finch. T for true, F for false. 5, Why did the mayor frown at Henry? Now that's not a true false, but if you can explain, tell me if it's A, B, C. The question is, why did the mayor frown at Henry? A, because Henry broke the carriage wheel. B, because Henry refused to help. Or C, because Henry was late. Number 6. What lesson did Henry learn from his father? A, that he should always be confident in his knowledge. B, that true strength comes from asking for help and learning. C, that he should never try new things. Number 7. How did Henry feel after hearing the village children call him Henry Hardhead? A, proud. B, humiliated. C, indifferent. Number 8. What action demonstrated Henry's willingness to change and learn? A, helping Mrs. Finch with her laundry. B, continuing to boast about his knowledge. C, ignoring his father's advice. Number 9. What did Henry realize after his talk with Mrs. Finch? A, that pretending to know everything is the best way to avoid embarrassment. B, that even the wisest people started out knowing nothing. C, that it's important to always stick to his opinions. And finally, number 10. What was the outcome of Henry's admitting his mistakes and being open to learning? A, he was banished from the village. B, he became a skilled blacksmith. C, he decided to leave the smithy for good. Now, if you were able to listen carefully to the story, not read it, but listen to the story, and can answer the questions, then this will help you determine the type of listener you are. If you post your responses, number them 1 through 10, and put in the answer T or F or A, B, C, and I will give you your grades. All right, I appreciate you listening and participating in today's live event. Again, I'm Dr. Priscilla. If you want to participate in live classes with me, all that you need to do is find the link somewhere on this page or comment on this post that you'd like to participate in the live classes. Thanks for now. Bye, everyone.